Hey guys, it's Amber. Welcome to my 2018 eyeshadow declutter. I've obviously got a lot to declutter here, and there's many reasons. One, I like to go through my items and make sure everything is working for me and they're things that I actually use. But this year is a little different because there's like a 90% chance that we're going to be moving. And if we do move, it's going to be in a cross-country move. It's not going to be an in-state move. And I haven't moved out of my state since I was 7, as when I moved here to Utah. So yeah, I know that movers, you know, they can be a little rough with these kinds of things, especially since like with liquids and stuff, sometimes they won't move them. So basically I'm going to be responsible for moving my own makeup and taking it with me. So I want to downsize my collection just for the sure fact of, is it worth moving and all that kind of stuff. And if there's something I just like, okay, I don't know that it's really worth moving, even if it's a great item, because I mean, it's going to take time and energy to pack this all up. And so I'd rather give it to someone who could appreciate it, if that makes sense. So there's a lot here. So let me kind of move it to the side and I'll just go through everything one by one. I do have some palettes that have singles in them, and I'll probably either choose to keep them all, get rid of them all, or what I'll do is I'll put them aside and go through them in a singles video and just pick and choose which ones I actually want and use. So that's kind of my game plan. I'm not necessarily going to keep all drugstore or all high-end. It's just going to be what works the best for me. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad products. I mean, I'm probably going to get rid of stuff that's going to be your holy grail, or I'm going to keep stuff that you don't like. It's going to be my personal preference and what I really feel like works with the collection that I want to have. So that's going to be my reasoning with how I'm going to be doing my declutter. And let's get started. And I have gone ahead and put just a sheet down so that way what I'm doing is protected from my carpet, and if I get glitter or shadow on it, it's totally fine because it's just a sheet. All right, so let's start off with some of my bigger palettes. So the first one is going to be my Vice 3, and I'm actually planning on panning this year. So this will be one that I have out and will be taking with me personally. So I will definitely be keeping this. Next is my Vida Loca. This is my go-to for anything colorful. I love this palette, and it was a limited edition, so I'll definitely be keeping this as well. I think these are all going to be keeps. This Smashbox is also one of my favorites. I just love this formula. Like, it is so smooth, and yes, I love this. It was also a limited edition. It was, yeah. So keeping this as well. I promise there are things I'm going to get rid of. Look how dirty my Jaclyn Hill palette is. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be in trouble. Well, this also is a good time for me to wipe everything down. So after I go through everything I'm going to keep, I'll wipe it all down and I'm going to put it away, then possibly start packing things up. So I may not be using as many different palettes and things just because I gotta move it all. So, you know, that kind of makes sense. But this is so dirty, but I need to clean it. But yes, I'm definitely keeping my Jaclyn Hill palette, so that is without question. And my Lorac Pro Mega Pro 3. This is also a keep. I love this palette. I've been keeping this upstairs in my bedroom for quick looks when I get ready, and it's nice because it's really good for anything, any day. Okay, so let me get out some smalls here. Okay. First off, I know this Essence is got to go. I don't really care for it. It's just, even though these are great neutral colors, I know someone will really enjoy using these. It's just not something that I'm reaching for at all. So I'm going to pass this on. Oh, this is a hard one. I've kept this in my collection for a while. It's a MAC. And I'll be honest, the one shade I really like is this shade right here. It is really pretty. It's a purple with gold shimmer. But ask me how often I use this. I have a single of Shadowy Lady. The rest of these are so glittery, it's hard to use these as crease shades with how glittery they are. And since I'm not getting rid of all my MAC and all my non-cruelty-free makeup, but I'm trying to move towards that. So if something is not cruelty-free and I don't really like it, so I'm not using it or really enjoy using it, then it's a reason to get rid of it. So I think I'm going to pass this on. Next is a Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells trio. You know, this is a great little trio for people starting out, and I think that this is one of those things that's nice to just have for a pinch. And it's so small, it's a kind of a classic look. So I think I'm going to use this. It's good for duping and things, so I'm going to keep this one. Okay, Tarte. I was really underwhelmed with this palette. I feel like you can see here, I got hard pan. I like this shade right here. I think that's a beautiful shade. But is it justifying, is that enough to justify keeping this palette for one shade? I don't think so. It's beautiful. I feel like anyone I gave this to would be like over the moon to have it. It's great compact. I just think realistically, is it worth moving if I don't love it? Is it worth keeping it if I'm just not reaching for it? And I don't think so, so I'm gonna get rid of this. All right, next is these LA colors. I really liked this when I got it, and it was a pretty decent find for Shop Massé at the time, but now that they've expanded their selection, I don't ever find myself reaching for this, so that's a pass. Okay, my Blink palette. I love this palette, so this is going to be a definite yes. I'm definitely going to keep this. Guys, this is one that I'm on the fence about, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like, even though I like the colors, well, it's really nice for travel, except for I feel like this shade right here is too dark. I feel like if this was a half a shade lighter, it would work better, or one of these was darker. I feel like it's like light and then dark. I have a hard time making a good look out of it. But I still like this, and I like that it's compact. So I think I'm gonna keep it this round, but it's a maybe. All right, next, my Winky Lux palette. I love this little palette. This also needs to give a little bathing or wiping, but yes, this is a great one. I'm gonna keep this. Okay, next is this little Too Faced chocolate mini palette. I bought this instead of the chocolate bar because I wanted to save money, and then I ended up buying the chocolate bar anyway. This is a fun little palette. It's good for travel. I haven't used it a whole lot, but honestly, I'm just not going to reach for it, and I think someone else can enjoy it more, so I'm going to pass this one on. Okay, my Wet n Wild Au Naturel palettes. I really like these. This one is a dupe for Urban Decay Naked, and I'm not using that anymore. You know what, I might as well probably just get rid of the Naked, honestly. So I'm gonna keep this one. This one is so similar to Naked 3. But the nice thing about this is it's good for duping. I think I'm gonna keep this one just for that alone. So I think I'm going to keep this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. Okay, the Metal Glam. I just got this one. It's brand new, never been touched, and I'm going to get rid of it. Just for the sake, I'm going to give it to someone all brand new because I think they will enjoy it, and I don't want to keep it if I feel like I won't get use out of it. All right, my Pure Soiree Diaries. I love this palette, so I'm definitely going to keep this. My Carly Bible is also one that I want to keep. This is a beautiful palette. I love this so much, so this is a definite keep. All right, so my Naked, I panned this. Do I feel like it's worth moving across the country for comparison's sake? No, I don't think so. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, this is a palette I bought at Express, and I was so excited because I was like, I didn't know Express had makeup. Well, they don't really. They just had a random palette, and I've used it some, and it's like, yeah, you could make decent looks out of it, but again, just for my channel's sake, it's just, I'm never going to really use this because nobody really cares. So I'm going to get rid of it. So my Naked 2 and Naked 3, I love both of these palettes, and so I'm going to keep both of these. Okay, so I've got these two City Color palettes, and they're really nice and bright. I actually do like these, and I think for the price point, they're decent. Here's my problem. I don't know that this is going to survive. This has just literally been sitting in my little divider thing, and it's already crumbling, and I'm worried if I'm moving it, even as gentle as I can be, it's not going to survive because these are so soft. I just don't want to create a mess. And honestly, if I really wanted it again, I could just order another one when I get wherever I'm going because it's not that expensive. So I think I'm going to pass this on. Same with this Sprinkles palette. This one isn't super soft. I just think if it comes to colors, I'm going to reach for my Movida Loca over this. And again, someone else would probably really like this, and it's a fun, cute little palette, so I'm going to pass this on. Okay, my Smashbox on the Rocks. I really like this palette, and it has this really fun kind of blue, green. I need to get more use out of that. I like that there's a bunch of neutrals. I also love like this berry shade right there. That is so pretty. I also like, this is my only palette that has like a bright blue. So with all that combined, I definitely think this is worth keeping. So this will be staying. Okay, so here's some other little palettes. This e.l.f. one, these almost look the same on the eye. There's not much difference between them. And if I'm going to need a little palette, I'm going to reach for the Wet n Wild, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This NYX Happy Birthday palette I actually really like, and I like that it has this green, and it kind of is reminiscent to me of the Subculture because it has those really warms. So I'm going to keep this one. Okay, so I really like this one, and I like that it has the gray and the purple, these cool tones. I love the silver in here. I like this Roses palette. I actually thought about panning it, but you know, when I have the Naked 3 and I'm keeping this one, I really don't think I should keep this if I'm going to keep this and the Naked 3. That's silly. That's ridiculous. So I am going to get rid of this. Okay, the Prism eyeshadow. I've gotten rid of the other one already. I do really like these for like popping on the lid, so I am going to keep this. Okay, so my Too Faced, I love both of these palettes, so I'm going to keep these. And I love my Modern Renaissance, and I love my Balm Jovi. This is great for traveling, so I'm going to keep that. I promise I don't just hate City Color. I've been using this palette quite a bit, and I've been trying to think, do I really, really need it? But I was trying to think, you know, I really like these colors right here in this Flamingo, but then I think that Flamingo is probably pretty close. It's a little brighter than this one, but I'm like, man, then you get that green. It's brighter than this one, but I'm like, well, I just don't know if I really need it. I think I'm going to pass it on just because there's a lot of repeat colors, but it's still a good palette. It kind of makes me sad to give this one up. But again, I need to make this more doable. Okay, so here are some of my loose ones. This one will not survive. These are a mess. Look at this. I just moved this out of my thing, and just moving it around just now, this all shattered. Honestly, these are not magnetic on the back, and that's what the problem is. And so I would have to literally go through and put magnets on these. Oh man, these are really soft shadows, but they're so pretty. I mean, look at these. What I probably need to do is go through and see which colors I really like and go from there. Man, this as it is just, yeah, it's not working. But then I think, look at this brown shade, as pretty as that is. Don't I have a million brown shades that color? Yes, and this is such a mess. Guys, I think I'm just going to get rid of this, and maybe somebody else would enjoy it more, or it might just have to go in the trash, because I think I'm just going to get rid of this and see if anyone wants to. Oh, that's such a pretty shade, though. I might pick out a few of these shades and then pass them along, and we will save this for the singles, and I will decide then. So, oh man, these Mirabella shadows I've had forever, but I think what I am ready to do is I think I am ready to get rid of all of these neutrals. I have so many neutrals that if I wanted this, I would just grab a different palette. So I'm going to get rid of these. And this one I'm going to keep because I do really like these brights. I have one more. I'm probably going to keep this one as well. I do like these pink ones, but I'm going to get rid of the neutrals. This, oh, more cleaning to do. Okay. This is real life, so just keeping it real. These are Tarte blushes that came out of that same palette, and they're not magnetic, so I either need to decide to put magnets on these before I move, or I need to get rid of them. But you know, we're not talking about eyeshadows today, we're talking about the shadows, so I'm just gonna ignore those. I think I might go through these singles later and maybe combine some of these. I might take, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do some combining, and I'm gonna get back to these. And I'm gonna keep all these because I really like them, so that's cute. Okay, so I have one little lone palette with a brown shadow that I'll probably get rid of. And I think that is everything. Oh my goodness. So let's take a look at everything I'm getting rid of. So I'm gonna go through these, all these brown Mirabella shadows I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of this one in here. I'm gonna go through this and this, probably get rid of most of these. I'm getting rid of the Poolside palette, the Roses, this e.l.f., these two City Color palettes, the Express palette, my Naked one, the Glam Metals, Too Faced LA Colors, Tarte, MAC, and Essence. So I've got a little bit of everything as far as brands go, not just getting rid of lower end. And I know I didn't declutter as much as I wanted to, but I still feel like the things I'm keeping I like. So I've got the Au Naturel palettes, Makeup Revolution, NYX Happy Birthday, Pure, Winky Lux, the Tartelette Teas, and the Eggshells, and Blink. I've got the e.l.f., Naked 2, Naked 3, my Coastal Scents, my two colorful Mirabellas, my Balm Jovi, Curly Bible, Lorac, Jaclyn Hill, Smashbox, Kat Von D, Vice 3, Modern Renaissance, Too Faced, and Smashbox. So this is all. But I'm like, okay, when I stack that up like that, I'm like, that doesn't look too ridiculous. For somebody who makes YouTube videos, who loves makeup, I don't feel like this is, I'm completely off my rocker taking this. I don't, you know, I want it to fit into like a tub. I don't want my makeup to be like 10 boxes. So I feel like I can deal with this. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me on my eyeshadow makeup declutter, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!